Here's what's happening at this hour. The Nets have cleared Kyrie Irving to make his return tonight against the Grizzlies after missing the past 8 games. He has completed each required step to end his team-imposed suspension for promoting an anti-Semitic film on social media. Kyrie spoke to the media today, apologizing again and reiterating that he is not anti-Semitic. Portland Trailblazer star Damian Lillard has a right calf strain, which will sideline him for a brief period of time. That's according to Yahoo Sports. Lillard was injured in Saturday's loss to the Jazz. He said afterward he doesn't believe the injury is as serious as the one that caused him to miss 4 games earlier this season.
It was a learning journey, to be honest with you. It was a lot of hurt that needed to be healed, a lot of conversations that needed to be had, and a lot of reflection. And I got a chance to do that with some great people from the Jewish community, from the Black community, from the white community. I've had so many conversations with all of our races and cultures and religious groups of people, just trying to better find perspective on how we live a more harmonious life. I'm a man who stands for peace. I don't condone any hate speech or any prejudice. And I don't want to be in a position where I'm being misunderstood on where I stand in terms of anti-Semitism or any hate for that matter for anybody in this world. So the process over the last few weeks was just a lot of conversations. I don't want to get too deep into the details of those conversations, but they were very moving, very impactful, and it helped me become more aware of the repair that needed to be done, the healing that needs to be done still. So here I am, just really acknowledging the fact that it hasn't been easy. Some of it has been painful, just learning about, the history between different groups of people. And it's given me a greater perspective.
Several people have come out and said on your behalf that they don't believe that you are anti-Semitic or you have any hateful ideation towards Jewish people. But just to clear the air, do you have any hateful ideation towards Jewish people, or are you anti-Semitic?
No, I'm not anti-Semitic. I never have been. I don't have hate in my heart for the Jewish people or anyone that identifies as a Jew. I'm not anti-Jewish or any of that. And it's been difficult to sit at home with my family, with them seeing all of this and having questions. And, the part that hasn't been hard is explaining myself because I know who I am and I know what I represent. But I think the difficult aspect is just processing all this, and understanding the power of my voice, the influence I have. I'm no one's idol, but I am a human being that wants to make impact and change. In order to do that, I have to live responsibly and set a greater example for our youth, for my generation and the older generation. So I just think I really want to focus on the hurt that I caused or the impact that I made within the Jewish community, putting some type of threat or assumed threat on the Jewish community. I just want to apologize deeply for all my actions throughout the time that it's been since the post was first put up. I've had a lot of time to think, but my focus initially, if I could do it over, would be to heal and repair, a lot of my close relationships with my Jewish relatives, brothers and sisters. My journey is very unique. I grew up in a big melting pot full of different races, cultures, and religions of people. So a lot of these conversations about anti-Semitism or anti-Blackness or anti-whiteness or, any anti that goes against a specific group of people, within my household, we used to talk about it. And I grew up with, all walks of life. And that's why I'm able to sit here and say I embrace all walks of life, because I've had some experiences throughout this journey where it's tested my faith, it's tested my heart. And I've always tried to stand up for what I believe in and stand up for those that I feel like are being prejudiced against or, you know, being discriminated against. I don't want to say prejudice, just being discriminated against based on their skin color or religion. So I stand with all my brothers and sisters that are really doing the things necessary to bring harmony and peace to our world. So that's where I sit. You know, in right now in this present space is just, I'm very sorry that I had to be used as, you know, some sort of example of what not to do when it comes to, you know, dealing with all of this. So I just want to deal with it better right now and just say that I'm sorry to not only the Jewish community, but to my family members and to my relatives, because they know I stand for something bigger, and I'm grateful now I get to explain myself.
And just going back to the initial post, because I'm not sure if you've been asked this, your intent, like, what did you want to share with your followers, your audience? What was your intent with the initial post?
Well, number one, I meant no harm. I didn't want to, you know, be put in a position where I'm against any community. And like I said, you know, during the press conference after one of the games, I just went to look up my name, Kyrie, which also translates in Hebrew to Yahweh, or, you know, YHWH. And I wanted to share the link with all those that were also on the same journey and search for their heritage as I am on. You know, the unfortunate aspect in that 3-hour documentary is the anti-Semitic remarks, you know, in terms of generalizing Jewish people. I believe that was unfair. And that wasn't the aspect of the post that I wanted the focus to be on. You know, the initial post was supposed to be for all those that were searching for more information, more history, and are able to interpret it in a way, you know, where they see it as progressive and they learn something from it. Again, this was just a post. There was no context I put into it. You know, I was just watching the video to learn more about my heritage, do a deeper dive into who I am. And unfortunately, in that process, I hurt some people, and I'm sorry for that. You know, but the search for what tribe I belong to, where I come from, is ongoing, and I'm continuing this search with God. And wherever I'm placed, I believe that that's where I'm supposed to be. But I had to go through this to truly understand my power and the position I sit in, and understand that, you know, some things are meant to be explained, and I should have done that. You know, instead of being in this position now where there are a bunch of assumptions and questions on what I meant and how I wanted it to be portrayed. It wasn't a promotion. It wasn't something that I was advocating for in terms of the anti-Semitic remarks. Just majority of the documentary was speaking on the lost tribes of our world, Black people specifically, and dealing with other races that are also searching for their history. So it's a longer question. I don't want to get too long-winded here, but mainly I just want to talk about the progression that I've made, and also sitting in this unique position of bringing people together. So that's the mission and purpose that I'm focused on, and that's what God has put on my heart.
You referenced in your apology that you wrote that you hope that this turns into something that becomes an understanding among all people.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like for you? And in this process that you've been through the past couple of weeks, what have you learned about getting towards that?
Well, I've learned over the last few weeks that, you know, speaking openly about religion or culture or race, it's got to be a safe space where everyone can speak openly and they're not judged harshly or unfairly or